Hello everyone, this is Professor DePaulo welcoming you back to Psych 265, Research in Psychology Fully Online. And today we're going to be talking about how to write the method section of the APA manuscript. So this is a really easy section to write for our manuscript because we're just doing survey research. So we're going to keep it to really the bare minimum. If you're doing a more complicated experiment where you have multiple independent variables, and you may have multiple dependent variables and you're manipulating certain things, then the method section could be much more advanced and much more detailed. But for our purposes, really, we're only doing an online survey, and so it's really, really basic. So it should only take about 10 or 15 minutes to write up the method section. So we're going to look at the instructions here under the Written Assignments tab, writing the method section. We're going to open that up. And as you can see, it's pretty basic to write. You have the major header method, which is centered in the header, 12-point text. I still want everything double-spaced, just because it's easier for me to read. So make sure you double-space everything. And then we have 3 subheadings. So basically, all we have to do is open up a Word document or a Google Docs, whatever you're used to using. Okay, so in the header, I want method centered. I use Times New Roman. You could use Arial. You could use Times New Roman, whatever font, whatever regular font you typically use. But Times New Roman or Arial is fine. So we move down to Times New Roman. Actually, I'll use Arial for this. Doesn't matter. Let's center that. That's 12-point font, right? That's what we want. Center it. There's your major header. Oh, we don't need any of this bullshit that it's trying to tell me to do. What do you want to write? I know what I want to write already. So now we want our subheading. So we're going to start with participants. Okay, so you're going to write the word participants in 12-point font. I want this in Arial also. Let's double check. I want that in Arial. I don't know why it's giving me this as a default. Okay, and I want this in Arial. So Arial or Times New Roman is generally fine. I don't know why it's giving me Optos. I don't even know what Optos is. Now the subheadings, they need to be italicized. The major heading could just stand like this. The subheading has to be italicized. So take the subheading and make it into italics. Where do I get italics here? This I button here, italics, and then start on the line below it. You don't need to put a colon, you don't need to put a hyphen or whatever, just start on the line below it in regular text, and you're going to write complete sentences and provide the participants, the number of participants, the ethnic, racial makeup of the participants, the gender of the participants, and the age of the participants. So for this study, and I had to wait for people to complete the survey because a lot of students didn't complete the survey this summer, we had 24 participants. Out of those 24, there were 21 female, 3 male, and then the racial ethnic breakup, 8. That's our breakup here. 8 African Americans, 12 Hispanics, 4 whites out of the 24 participants. 21 females, 3 males. That's typical of a psychology class. And we move it down more. Age range. So the age range was 18 to 58. It's a pretty big spread in terms of ages. Now, you're not going to list it like this. You're going to write this out into incomplete sentences. You're going to have 2 or 3 complete sentences here describing the participants. 24 total, 21 female, 3 male, 8 African Americans, 12 Hispanic, 4 white, and the age range 18 to 58. So 2 to 3 sentences, complete sentences total, goes right underneath this participant. Starts the line below. So right below where you see participants in italics, that's where you're going to start your sentences for the participants. Very easy. The next one is materials. And then start the line below. And the materials for this is a survey measuring social connectedness. What else are we measuring? Gotta spell that right first. We're measuring depression, we're measuring anxiety, life satisfaction. What else are we measuring here? We're measuring life satisfaction, we're measuring somatization, which is physical symptoms with no organic basis, no medical cause. Stress. So whatever we're measuring in the hypotheses here, these are definitely things that are in the survey, right? So if you took the survey and it measured all these things with scales. So social connectedness, depression, anxiety, life satisfaction, somatization, stress. There were some other things here, but we didn't look at everything. But those are the basic things we're looking at. So that's all you need for materials. One other thing for participants here. You want to put that they were recruited from BMCC. Borough of Manhattan Community Colleges. Borough of Manhattan Community College. So you always want to say that there were 24 participants and where they were from. They were recruited from undergraduate research in psychology class from Borough of Manhattan Community College. And then we have procedure. I hate this damn thing here. It's telling me the stupid AI thing. That's telling me, oh, we'll write this paper for you. And it drives me crazy. And it's, for a paper like this, it's not going to help you. So don't be tempted to try to have it write something for you. It's going to write something incorrect for you. And I got to try to disable this thing because I don't use it. And it's just kind of in the way all the time. Procedure. So this is the online, an online survey basically completed for credit in an introductory, in a research and psychology course at BMCC, at Borough of Manhattan Community College. That's all you have to write. One sentence talking about an online survey was completed for credit at BMCC, and then it took approximately 30 minutes to complete. Something like that. 1 or 2 sentences for the procedure. Because that's what you did. You completed it. That's all the procedure. This is really, really basic, this method section. This is almost impossible to screw up. It's not like the introduction. The introduction of what I read for the introduction so far, some of them are really good. Some of them are all over the place. Some of them are completely wrong. This thing is pretty obvious. There's not much to screw up. You're going to write the method of our class survey. That's the study you're writing for the manuscript. Our class survey on social connectedness and its relation to physical, mental health, and academic performance. So you can actually add academic performance here under materials. So we asked for GPA. And that way you've covered all the hypotheses, the variables in the hypotheses. Make sure this is written in full sentences. Online survey. For blah, blah, blah. Research and psychology class at Borough Manhattan Community College. It took approximately 30 minutes to complete. Very basic. 2 to 3 sentences for participants. 1 to 2 sentences for materials. 1 to 2 sentences for procedure. That's all you need, and you're done. This is by far the easiest part of the paper to write. It takes you 10-15 minutes to write. You watch this video. You listen to me break it down into small components here. Not perfectly, obviously. I want you to write in complete sentences. But there's not much to write here. Now, if we had a more complicated design, there'd be a lot more. Now, if I were to submit this for publication, I'm just going to put this caveat here. If I were to submit something like this for publication under materials, I would write about all the scales that I used. So if I used a scale on life satisfaction, I'd write about what that scale is, what the name of it is, how many items it has, and I'd provide reliabilities and validities for each of these measures. So it would bulk this up. Now, for you folks, you're just learning this, and you probably don't really know what reliabilities and validities are at the moment, so you can just write out this very simple method section. But if I were to publish it, I'd have to put in the reliabilities and validities for each of the scales I'm using, so that my audience knows what scale I'm using. Is it a good scale? Is there a problem with the scale? You want to use previously established scales. Making up your own scales is tricky. And if you made up your own scale, you would need to provide the reliability and validity for your own scale, and it can be really messy. So I'm a big fan of using what's out there already, what's been published already. Unless it doesn't exist and you have to make up something new, then you can make up your own scale, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot harder than you think. And it can be... It doesn't always work out the way you want it to work out when you write your own scales, when you write your own items and questions. So keep that in mind. But that's pretty much it for the method section. The word method here at the top. Make sure it's in Arial or Times New Roman, right? That's Arial. I don't want Optos, I want Arial. And then I have here Arial and italics, 12 points. Arial and italics, 12 points. Arial and italics, 12 points. And then complete sentences underneath this. And then save it as a PDF. Once you save it as a PDF, you can upload it here under written assignments. You upload it here under where it says method. As a PDF, I'll look at it. If there's anything that needs to be corrected, I'll let you know. I am in the process of grading the introductions, so you should see comments on the introductions. Those are very important to read through the comments and make the changes for the final paper. Sometimes there's a lot of comments on the introduction. The further it is away from where I want it to be, the more comments there's going to be. And some of you have to rewrite the whole thing because it was done incorrectly. And you're going to rewrite it for the final paper. I cannot do like a million rough drafts. I just can't do it. There's not enough time to have everybody submit multiple rough drafts for everything. So please read the comments of the rough draft and make the changes for the final paper. And the final paper is worth a big chunk of your grade, so don't worry if you screwed some things up with the rough draft. The reason why I'm scoring the rough draft is I want to make sure that you're actually working at it. You're putting the effort in. That's the main part of scoring the rough draft. I don't want people just to submit whatever just to get it over with and then worry about it later. I want you to put effort into the rough drafts. So if there are questions, please let me know. Please let me know before the weekend. Because what happens on Saturday and Sunday, people have questions. I am available through email, but there are some things that probably would be better worked through Zoom. So, and I'm not doing Zoom on the weekends. So please, if you have questions, let me know ahead of time before the weekend happens. If you need to meet on Zoom. And my office hours are Friday afternoons. Just send me an email. I'll set you up with an appointment. Okay, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'll see you back next time for the discussion of the results and how to write the discussion section. Bye for now.